Recently we talked a lot about fears, and I had some videos about visual vector person, actually quite a few. And if you watched some of these videos, we talked that when we lived in the tribes, and some of the people in the tribe used to be weaker, some of them stronger. So usually the weakest one, it was visual. And what makes this visual vector so weak? Why are they so weak? So let's talk about that now. Visual vector boys in the tribe, they didn't really survive. They first holiday when we created in ancient times, it was human sacrifice, and by oral vector and olfactory, by the way, because olfactory, it's the vector that is balancing kind of our tribe and the way that we're gonna survive. And sometimes if we have to get rid of somebody, that's why we created human sacrifice. We couldn't just kill each other in the tribe. And usually visual vector will kill it because that was not the fighter or warrior, and they couldn't protect the tribe. And if we were limited in resources, the meat, the food, so we had to get rid of these people who couldn't really contribute to the tribe, its maximum. And we created that human sacrifice. Now, boys, it's sometimes when they feel that they're going to be sacrificed or sometimes used as a trap for wild animals, leopards, when they feel deep down that one day the tribe is going to get rid of them, they always live in these fears. And deep down they feel that they cannot kind of protect themselves. So what they start to do, by the way, the same thing some animals do, like for example, a small lizard starts to do the same thing as a male. They start to behave as a female. They start to dress as a female, and they want to kind of tell the tribe that they're not men, because females were not sacrificed. It was a different story with females. Sometimes they were stipulated as a witches, but it was different, not in when we lived in Stone Ages. Now, because he has constant that fear and he starts to dress as a girl, also sexuality of this person, it's neither heterosexual and it's neither homosexual. So they can be pulled to either one. And usually anal vector male, I talked a lot about anal vector, if he has psychosexual delay, if he had problem in the childhood, that vector, they have deep love for young boys, and this love kind of shrinks in we call it in psychology incubating and sublimating, and goes like merges into something good for the tribe. So that deep love, they become great family men, great professors. They're ready to give their life for the kids, and they want to teach them, they want to make them young warriors. And if they go through psychosexual delay, that every one of us in the tribe, we got secondary desire, every vector, because we need it for survival. And that desire, it was food. We needed more food than, like when we lived as wild animals, we didn't need to kill more than we eat. When we became humans, we started to do that. The secondary drive, it's also sexual drive. Every vector has that secondary desire to kill more, to get more, so anal vector, its desire, secondary love, secondary desire toward these young boys. And if it goes through psychosexual delay in childhood problems, we'll talk about that, about how they can become and what makes them, but we'll talk about that in different video. So what happens is, if they go through the psychosexual delay, they can become homosexual as active homosexual men, and they start to seduce and protect these visual vector boys that have fears, because visual vector, dermal visual, they don't have sexuality, which means they need a heterosexual, they need a homosexual, so they can be put to either one, because they use sexuality for their survival. And the same thing with female. That's why they're more sexually attractive. They have narrow thighs because they were not given birth, so it's kind of similar. But with females, it was different. They had different role in the tribe. Now,